Welcome back to the Shine Within podcast. I have here Barbara Karafokas. She is a qualified holistic nutritionist who is passionate about empowering women to prioritize their health and wellness. As the host of her podcast, Barbara's podcast on health and nutrition for women, she shares valuable insights and information on various health, nutrition, and wellness topics, aiming to inspire and motivate her audience to achieve their health goals. With a focus on holistic approaches, Barbara's mission is to guide women towards reclaiming their vitality and happiness, helping them rediscover their healthy, vibrant selves. As a food alchemist, she delights in combining ingredients to create nourishing and delicious dishes, utilizing the power of food synergy to optimize health benefits. With a love for the outdoors and a dedication to conscious living, Barbara advocates for the holistic well-being for both individuals and the planet. I love this, Barbara. This is amazing. Thank you so much for being on my show. I'm very excited to talk to you today.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Of course. Now, just to ask, because I like to always ask, what does holistic mean to you?
I think holistic, what it means to me is whole. And so seeing the body as body, mind, and spirit, and what those entail. So it could be, are you nourishing your soul? Are you nourishing your mind? Which could mean stress. It could be, there's all these different ways that you could look at it. And then there's the body. And all of that comes together, but then you could take it a step further and go into conscious living.
Yeah,
Holistic and
absolutely.
conscious living. So, the food that you eat, where does it come from? How does that affect everyone else, from the food that you are buying? Yeah. I
Yeah,
won't, I
that's so.
won't blabber on.
Oh, that's okay. No, blabber away. This is about you today. No. Yes, I went to National Holistic Institute in
Yeah.
2006, and this was mostly for massage therapy school, but we learned everything. We
Yeah.
learned like energy healing, chakras. We learned every single aspect. We didn't learn about nutrition though. We should have, because that is a
Yeah.
lot to do with holistic eating and everything. But we got the gist of it. So I love what you shared, and thank you so much for bringing that up. Now, can you actually go ahead and share your journey and passion then for holistic nutrition and how it led you to become a holistic nutritionist?
So my journey goes way back. It started at a Tony Robbins seminar,
Wow.
Unleash the Power Within. And the last day of the seminar was on nutrition. It's like, well, if you want to achieve your goals, you've got to eat right to fuel your body so you've got the energy to, achieve your goals. And I was so fascinated and interested in the nutrition part of it. And when I came back home, I just kept on buying all these nutrition books and reading more and more and more and more, until I said, well, look, you're so interested in it, just, get a degree in it. But then looking back, I think my journey started even before that, before Tony Robbins' workshop. It was this friend of mine gave me a Fit for Life book, I think in my mid-20s. So it's I think it was building up to that moment.
Yeah.
And then why I chose holistic is sadly around that time a friend of mine passed away. And we would always talk about spirituality, we would talk about, passion and, all sorts. And I started realizing, we're not just the body, it's not just food. We're so many other things.
We are. I love to focus on the mind, body, and the
The mind,
spiritual aspect of everything.
yeah.
Yeah, it
And
all
that we
connects.
are, it all connects, yeah. And that we are, maybe we are spirits having a human experience,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you. I've been since I became sober, since my sober date is September 2017. I just noticed I'm just getting a lot of information. My mind is more clear. I'm focused. Of course, I'm eating better. My health has been, oh, it's transformed completely. I used to take medications constantly for anxiety, sadness, which I call depression. This is my
Yeah,
this is sadness that just is for a long time. That's my
yeah,
definition of depression. Because I don't really like to label things, because we can actually get out of it. I mean, I know a
yeah,
lot of people who have been had anxiety, had depression, had all of these different conditions. They were able to get out of it without medication, and I was like,
yeah.
wow. So I
Yeah.
know it can be done. I am also an example of it. But I wanted to actually ask you about healthy eating habits because you don't only just focus on creating healthy eating habits for just individuals, but you actually do it for families. Is that right?
Yes, yes, because I believe um, a healthy family, starts with the mom.
Yes.
She's what's the word I'm looking for? She's not the provider, but she
She's a good example.
nurturer. She's the
Nurture, yeah.
nurturer. Yeah. And so if as a mother that learns how to cook healthily, you're nourishing the whole family
Mm.
and keeping the whole family healthy. And I think there's a lot of women that come in, oh, I just want, a meal plan for me and, want to lose weight, but it's not, well, maybe you've got to look into, eating healthier as a family,
Yes. Yes,
you
mom
know,
always sets an example. If mommy's happy and healthy at home, everybody is happy and healthy at home.
healthy. Absolutely.
Yes. And it's so fun because, I have a stepson. He's 10 years old and he's a little bit on the chubbier side. He's a little cutie
Yeah,
pie. Luckily, he's young
yeah,
enough to go ahead and burn that off as he gets older.
yeah.
But what I love is that, well, at home we are healthy. We like to eat healthier. So I love cooking homemade dishes. I cook at home. I with using like all these different spices. Some things that we pick from our garden outside.
Oh,
And
wow.
what wonderful is that with his dad, because he wants me to train him a little bit.
Yeah.
This was maybe several weeks ago. We were doing our leg workout. And then what's beautiful is that my little stepson comes around and he's just like, hey, I want to do that too. I said, yes, come, let's do it as a family, and he gets all excited. And so the next day after school, he was like, because we only have him half time, and his mom has him the other time. And then so when he comes from school and he's like, are we going to do more floor exercises today? I said, we can. So it's
Oh,
just wonderful to, just to see their, because I also have children of my own as well. And when
yeah,
they're all together, we'll do some breathing exercises, just healthy
yeah.
practices to set them up. So when they have their families, they can be doing it with their family as well and then create that healthy family.
Yes, but it's what they learn with what they see at home.
Right. It's so true. Now, you mentioned the seven golden rules of healthy eating and healthy living. Can you actually go ahead and elaborate on what these rules actually entail and how they can be incorporated in everyday life for optimal health?
Okay. So the seven golden rules, well, the first one is um, have a fruit meal a day. So what is a fruit meal? It could be in the form of a smoothie. It could be in the form of a little fruit salad. You don't have to go all complicated. You could chop up an apple and, toss a few berries on top and, that's fine. Um, or whole fruit. You're a busy mom, you haven't got time for that. Grab an apple, grab a pear, and put it in your bag and off you go. So that's the first one. The second rule is one meal a day should be a salad.
Mm.
And with different toppings. So you could add some avocado, some, chicken, some chickpeas, some beans, some tofu, so one meal is a salad meal a day. Then the other golden rule are herbs. I truly believe in the healing power of herbs. And I have them as teas. So each herb has a property or properties. So depending on what you're going through in life, whether you want something calming, whether you want something that's antibacterial, antifungal, there are many. So have herbal teas, drink those throughout the day. You could incorporate herbs also as essential oils.
Mm.
But you could give yourself a little massage after your shower. And those are the two, yeah,
Those are the
the
main
simplest.
ones.
Yeah, the main ones. Then the fourth one is whole food supplements.
Mhm.
What are whole food supplements? Basically, they're foods that are more nutritious than the others, and it could be things like aloe vera juice, spirulina, chlorella. We have some medicinal mushrooms like reishi, chaga, and many more. It could be bee pollen, royal jelly. Again, depending on the needs and the circumstances in your life, you choose the appropriate one to add in. Um, yeah,
I love
and-
that.
yeah. Then we've got the fifth one, exercise. And I'm not talking, you don't have to become a gym rat. You know, that's you could just that's it could be a 20-minute to half an hour walk every day out in nature. I think for me, walking is so therapeutic. It clears your mind. It's good for your heart. It's free, and
It's free. I love
and
that.
and it's you can also combine it with, if you're running after your children, taking them to extra lessons in the afternoon or extracurricular, and instead of sitting in the car for an hour, walk around, go for a walk in the neighborhood. So very easy.
Yes, yes, I love all of them. Now, I would just mention to you that I've had a horrific experience this last week of actually
Yeah,
I was about 13. I went to my 12-week checkup at the OBGYN
yeah,
and then there was no more heartbeat, unfortunately. And so I was devastated. I had to get a DNC done last Tuesday, which I mean, I've been on this emotional roller coaster and I just let my emotions, just say
yeah.
let it out if I have to. If I have to cry, I will cry. If I have to like scream out, I will have to scream out. Sometimes I have those joyful moments too where I'm just like grateful because obviously something was wrong. So, and plus I am blessed with I have three other beautiful children and it wasn't the right timing right now. Something had happened anyway. So, but I actually have been taking a lot of walks and I know the doctor said just listen to your body. If you feel like you can move, then move. But my husband and I have been going out, we live in San Jose, California, and in the US. But in front of us is the city of San Jose downtown. So it's very, very
Yeah.
loud and noisy. Behind us are beautiful mountains that
Oh,
we can go to this place called Alum Rock Regional Park, and they have multiple trails everywhere. And you can take extraneous hikes if you want to. You can take short trails, you can do walks. There's a beautiful creek. So we've really been outdoors a lot this week. He's taken some time off. So I noticed that I am feeling much better taking those walks and, just getting my body moving, just releasing
yeah.
energy and just being connected to nature has actually been very therapeutic for me. And I feel that I'm better every time that I leave there. I'm like, I come back home and I feel more refreshed. I feel rejuvenated. So taking those walks is very important. You don't have to be a gym rat because I didn't like gyms. I only went to gyms for like the Zumba class, and that is about it. Like having to wait for those rusty metal, weights and
Yeah.
smells stinky in there. you know? And I
It
did,
feels so unnatural.
yes. And I noticed that like I'm like, oh, I'm a little sore today. So because we were kind of climbing up a little hill, and so
Yeah.
it's a good butt and thigh workout for sure. If you ever like to go hiking and want to get those toned, it definitely is. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about being healthy, preconception for mother and baby, because of course my husband and I are going to try again because we want to have a child together. We were both married before, we have children before, but we don't have children together. And so we got married in 2020 of February 2020, right before the lockdown, and we just focus on our children together, I guess.
Yeah.
But we want to have another baby. And another topic you focus on is preconception and the preparing for a body for obviously baby and pregnancy. Could you actually discuss the significance of nutrition in preconception time and how it can influence the health of the body and mother and baby?
And baby.
Yes.
Well, they say the magic number is 3 months for preconception. You should sort of prepare your body 3 months before, and that's both of you, man and woman, because it takes 3 months to create sperm.
I didn't know that.
And you could also, yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
So what you could do is, what I say is 3 months before, you could do a month of detoxification,
Mhm.
mild detox. What does what could that entail? That could be well, getting rid of any personal care products uh, that have toxins in them. Like uh, sodium lauryl sulfate, parabens. Some of these products have xenoestrogens that could disrupt your hormones, hormone disruptors. The foods that you eat, so overly processed food, junk foods, fried foods. Clean out your diet. The first month, just clean it out. Alcohol, smoking, all that's got to go. And once you've done that and you are eating healthier, then there are certain supplements that you could take to help boost your fertility. Vitamin E, selenium, zinc, vitamin C. Then especially for women, alpha lipoic acid is great for creating healthy eggs as well. And adding that in. There's things that you could do, and then not forgetting stress. Stress doesn't help. You could add in some breathing exercises. One of my favorite one is I call it the 4-4-4 breathing, where you inhale for 4, hold your breath for 4, and breathe out for 4. And you could do that a couple of times a day, just to release that stress. I think, if someone's really stressed, that could be one of the main reasons why it's not happening. And of course, sleep. Sleep is very, very, very important.
Yes, you don't want to be up all night drinking coffee, having
No,
your lattes or espressos at night and then not sleeping
no.
at night. That's not going to be too good on the
Now that
body.
you've mentioned coffee, if you have more than, two cups a day, it reduces your fertility, your chances of falling pregnant. So,
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah. Luckily, I have one cup of coffee, but that's kind of subsiding because I'm just like, I don't really tea works well for me. Like
yeah,
you were talking about, that one of the seven golden rules is
yeah,
including some herbal tea in your day. So my husband has been finally doing that because he really likes sugar in his coffee. I
yeah.
said, this cannot be the healthiest
Um,
thing for you. I said, and he's like, you know what? Let me try herbal tea with some honey. I said, let's try it. And he's been enjoying that. So he's making those healthy changes too. So
ah.
yeah, it does work in the family because we are the examples for the children, and then once they pick on those healthy habits, then like I said before, they will start sharing it with their friends, their family, whomever is around them.
Well, it's team effort, both of
Right.
you've got to be on the same page. Otherwise, I think, you know, it's not fair if you're putting in all the effort.
I know, right? And
Yeah,
my husband's very stubborn sometimes because it takes a little while for him, whatever I say. And
yeah,
then I'm like, I would suggest something. And then, of course, I feel like I'm right because I've experienced it myself. I know it would be best for him
yeah.
intuitively as well. And then he'd be like, no, 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 push it off. And then he's all, I have an idea. Why don't I do this and change my health with this different practice? I'm like, that's what I've been saying this whole time. Like he thinks of it all himself. But I'm like, you know what? As long as he's making that change sometime, everything's just fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was going to go ahead and ask you also, what are some common misconceptions or myths about nutrition that you actually encounter in your work, and how do you actually debunk them with evidence-based information?
Some misconceptions. I think the one that I come across quite often is I think intermittent fasting.
Oh,
Got to
yeah.
starve you. You've got to starve yourself to be healthy or lose weight. I think that's the most common one. And there was a study recently done, not a, that's actually, sorry, not a study. It was about women. And it was saying that intermittent fasting, the study that's been done on intermittent fasting was done with men.
Mm.
And it works for men, but women's bodies react totally different to it. They get more stressed. And when you get stressed, you release cortisol. Cortisol is a fat storing hormone. And so it's not so beneficial for women. And you can achieve, the same results or even, better ones by just eating healthier. So I think,
Yes. I agree with you because I've tried that. I think I've
yeah,
tried all the fad diets in the world, whatever was like the new diet to try, the new trend. I tried it all. None of it worked.
yeah,
None of it worked. It wasn't until like I just making those conscious eating choices that I'm like,
yeah.
maybe instead of that cookie, I'll go for an apple instead.
You
You know,
see the mindfulness to it. Yeah.
right. And then just actually asking myself, why am I hungry right now? Is it because it's been 6 hours and I haven't eaten? That would make sense. Or is it because I'm bored? Is it because, I just want something sweet? Like, we have to ask ourselves, why are we hungry? Why am I going to the cabinet right now? What is it that I really want? Because what if we're not even hungry at all? What if we're just thirsty and we just need water instead? Water's
Yeah.
satisfying enough.
A lot of people mix those two up, that you think you're hungry, but you're actually thirsty.
Yeah.
So it's always like, well, have a glass of water first, and then if you're still hungry, then okay, have a snack.
Yes, that's what I tell my stepson. He's like, I want some more. Can I eat some more? And I'm like, oh, honey, I said, let me drink some water. Let's wait 20 minutes. And if you're still hungry, then I'll go ahead and get you something. And then he's like,
Smart.
okay,
That's good.
to space it out because you don't want to stuff
Yeah.
his little tummy. I
No.
love him. I care for his health. Um, but in your experience, what are also some practical tips or strategies for individuals looking to transition to a healthier diet and lifestyle, especially for those who are like overwhelmed or unsure where to start?
Overwhelmed and wouldn't know where to start. Right. There's a lot of people that, I would say baby steps.
Yeah.
So baby steps. Start with breakfast. Because if you start right with the beginning of the day, it's more likely that you'll carry on into the rest of the day. And meal prepping, you can eat the same food every morning if you want. If it's, you could make overnight oats, which are very nutritious. You could, there's a certain way of preparing them. I've got some recipes on my website. Well, you could add, oats with yogurt and some chia seeds and some nuts and apples and just go into a really nutritious breakfast. If you prefer savory, you could start with eggs, egg-based, or if you're vegan, you could start with tofu and veggies. There's all sorts for every preference. And then once you've mastered breakfast, so right, I'm going to start another habit. It could be instead of all the whites, I'm going to swap them with brown. So avoid white sugar, white flour, white rice, the white white potatoes.
Right. Yeah.
Gradually, these little changes add up, and you'll start seeing a difference. It could be you say, well, no, I'm not going to eat anything out of a box. Challenge yourself. 30-day challenge.
I love
and
that.
and you'll realize, yeah, fruit and vegetables don't come in a box, or meats or lean meats or fish, or yeah.
Yes, they
And
don't.
no.
That'd be scary. They did. Actually, yeah, like canned tunas, like go in your pantry and get rid of all of the stuff that are in cans,
Yeah,
even. those are the worst, I hear. And any preservative foods, you want to
The
eat like
PAs. Yeah.
whole foods, nutritional foods that
Yeah.
tend to rot faster. So you better cook up so
Yeah.
they don't rot in your refrigerator. Any suggestions on
And,
the
oh, I was
best
going to say
vegetables?
hydration. I was going to say with hydration, you've got to, if you don't have time and you keep forgetting to drink, I just call it the 10 gulp rule.
Oh yeah.
So you get a big glass of, have 10 gulps of water and then put it down. And
10
then the
gulps of
next
water.
hour, 10 gulps again.
Okay, I want to try that. Like what I've been doing lately is I've been cutting fresh ginger and
Yeah.
then put in hot water in my hydro flask, and I've just been drinking that throughout the day, and because it helps with my digestive system, I notice a lot actually. And
Yeah.
it's been really good, and my breath feels nice and fresh and gingery, and
Helps
everything
you
feels
burn
good.
fat.
Oh yeah, does it? Oh, see, I didn't know that. See, ginger helping burn fat. And it's neat because we're talking about white potatoes. My husband just got some, it's good for the pancreas. What are they called?
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. Because they look like the pancreas, right? Sweet potatoes. Those are good though, right? To have?
Those are brilliant. They're
Yeah.
very healthy. I've got lots of recipes that, very high in vitamin A. So good for the eyes. They were actually voted one of the healthiest vegetables.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. I'm going to eat those because I wasn't really a big fan of potatoes, but sweet potatoes, but I do like sweet things anyway. So that may just be something I would love to add to my everyday diet. So
You could turn them into sweet potato fries, but
that's
not
right.
fried. You could, add different herbs and spices, a little bit of olive oil, and just put them in the oven, and they become very delicious.
That's right. Oh, now you're talking about these beautiful recipes that you have. Where can people find them on your website?
Well, if they visit my website, there's a section just healthy recipes where they could scroll down. There's also a search button, so it makes life easier. For example, we're talking about sweet potatoes. If they type in sweet potatoes, all these recipes will appear.
Wow. And it's www.barbarakarafocus.com.
Karafocus.com.
And that's
Yeah.
spelled BARBARAKARAFOKAS.com.
Well done.
Oh,
Yay.
yay.
Pronouncing my name right. Wow.
It's for the listeners there. Is there anything else you would like to share, or maybe perhaps give some advice to someone who is actually interested in pursuing a career in holistic nutrition?
Some advice. Well, definitely I'd say be passionate about it. You and walk your talk.
Yeah.
I think there are so many people out there that want to become something, but they don't actually look into it deeply enough or act on it or experiment with it. You know, definitely do live it first before you pursue it to see if you actually do like it.
Yes. Be a product of what you're doing,
What you're doing, yeah, you've got to. I think, um, and it's exciting. I think it's very fulfilling if you do want to do that. It's very fulfilling to help other people and actually see how you transform their lives for the better.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Barbara, for being on my show today. For our listeners who are loving social media, where can they find you?
So I think the easiest thing that they could do was just to visit my website, as you previously mentioned, www.barbarakarafocus.com. I do have an Instagram account, which you could find the link on my website. So
Very nice.
yeah,
Yes, and I will have everything in the show notes for our listeners. But I just want to say thank you so much for just coming on here and sharing your expertise because it has already helped me. So
yeah.
I know it's going to help our listeners as well. So thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure. Thank you, Gina, for having me.
Of course.